It's Besta and Steve, and we are here in Lisbon talking to our wonderful friend Joe. Joe, how are you?
Fine. How are you guys?
You've been here a lot longer than us. We've been here only 3 months, a little bit over three. And you've been here how long?
36 years.
Okay, so you know a little bit more than us about Portugal, about Portuguese cuisine, which is what we're going to talk to you about today. So thank you for
You're very welcome.
kind of being our guide.
And we are sitting at one of my favorite overlooks, and I'm going to let you say it.
It's São Pedro de Alcântara, and it's on the western side of Avenida Liberdade.
And it's June here in Lisbon when we're recording this, so there's a big festival market is up top because of course June is Festival Central.
Yes, and it's about 32 degrees Celsius, which is probably somewhere in the upper 80s.
Yeah,
It's
a little warm.
So we have fruity drinks. What do you call these? Just
Fruity cocktails.
Like a slushy.
Yeah, slushies.
So really, really good. So when we were told Steve, we wanted to talk about traditional Portuguese cuisine. Like we're finding many of the same things around town and traditional dishes. And we were like, well, who do we know that's been in Portugal a long time, who's really smart and knows a lot about food? And we thought about you because you've already taken us to a restaurant to have a wonderful meal.
Yes.
So where would you start a conversation? Well, first, you've been here a long time. Tell us
I
who
came
you
here
are
the summer of 1990. I came for the Gulbenkian Orchestra. I'm a musician. I play bassoon and piano and sing. And that's what brought me here.
It's very, very talented man. And you love food.
I love the city and I love food. Look at me. I don't go without eating.
No, but I mean,
well, there's food on every corner, and there's a festival every weekend.
There's a
like
cafe
food
everywhere, so you can get something sweet in your coffee almost anywhere in Portugal.
Yeah, any time of day.
Any time of day.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So when we say traditional Portuguese food, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Bacalhau, the dried codfish.
So cod is a very important thing here.
It is a very important thing, and it's something that I think that got the Portuguese around the world because they had dried salted codfish that would last forever, and they basically just needed to rehydrate it. The Portuguese diet is very heavy in salt, and sometimes they have health problems because of that, but everything is always very well seasoned.
Well, one of the jokes we heard when we first got here was that there's enough bacalhau recipes that you can have a different kind of bacalhau every day of the year.
Yeah, they say there's more than 1,000 recipes.
Holy cow! Okay, so
I don't know them all. I don't know. So 3 years, you could probably not have to repeat the dish.
Interesting.
If you know them all.
Right.
The most popular, I would say, is probably just grilled and baked in the oven, bacalhau assado or grillado. It's something that they boil it also, and there's so many ways.
We've seen those, I don't know what they're called, but they're in like the crunchy balls.
Croquettes?
Croquettes with potato and that kind of, is that more of a touristy thing? Or
No, that's very traditional Portuguese. Sometimes they'll have 3 or 4 for a dinner with, peas and rice and potatoes.
Okay.
It's fish, like we would say fish cakes.
Yeah.
It's a pastel de bacalhau, which means the pastry of the bacalhau, the codfish. And they mix it with sort of like a mashed potato and fish. And sometimes you still find a bone in it if they're not careful to get all the bones out of the fish. And then they have it with salsa, which is parsley, and sometimes coentros, which is coriander. And then they make a sort of a triangular shape, like a small torpedo. It's not really a croquette, and that's not perfectly round. They sort of grasp it in their hands, and it's sort of triangular in shape, almost a prism. And then they fry it, and it's delicious. Wow. They serve them hot, and also they will sit in a cafe. Many times you'll have them cold because they were made or fried in the morning, and you were eating it in the afternoon.
Right. Well, you've had some of the bacalhau croquettes. And
I think they're wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think those are great. And I had a dish that was like
what was that thing that I had when we were in Alcobaça? Oh, I really should know the name. It was, but it was like a stew, almost like a pasta dish stew thing. What was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Was it with pasta?
It might have been, but it was
okay, because sometimes
so
that's called
good.
masada.
I think it was like baked,
masada.
Perhaps.
It can be baked.
Anyway, it was
or
unbelievably wonderful. Yeah.
Well, of course, I'm fascinated by the history behind this. I know it's a big fishing community. Seafood is like
seafood
the thing
and
to
fish.
eat here.
If you're on the edge of Portugal by the sea, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
The interior, not so much. In the interior, you'll have more pork and chicken and rabbit and other things
I've seen
eel.
rabbit on a lot
Yeah.
of menus, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had rabbit before. I mean, I'm from the Midwest, so rabbit's a thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite thing, but I was surprised to see it was such a popular dish here.
It's very popular. You'll see it in the supermarkets. You can see the rabbit without its fur.
Yeah, Mike, right next to the octopus, which
Yeah,
is
and I love
Which we'll get
octopus
to, I'm
too,
sure, in
yeah.
this conversation. Do you have a favorite bacalao of all of them?
Bacalhau com natas. It's a creamy one. They sort of dice potatoes, and it's the fishes. You take the bones out of the fish, and you mix it in sort of like a casserole. Can be individual casserole dishes or a large one, and they will serve it. Sometimes there's bacalhau espiritual, which is sort of similar, but not as creamy with the natas, is the cream.
Right.
And sometimes they put sliced carrots in it, and they say, I think, bacalhau espiritual because you have to believe that there is fish in it, because you don't really get big chunks of fish like you would in bacalhau.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not
So it's
this.
there, but it's not the overwhelming flavor.
No, it's the flavor, but you don't find chunks of fish in it.
Okay.
It's usually been mixed so well that you can't tell that there's fish in it.
Wow,
Well,
That's the spiritual one.
I'm getting hungry.
But bacalhau à brás is also another one that I love to make because it's very simple. If you have the bacalhau ready and if the salt is taken out of it, it's wet. All you need to do is basically brown a little bit of olive oil and brown the onions, and then you have shoestring potatoes and the bacalhau and eggs, and you just sort of like do a quick stir fry, and it's ready in 5 minutes or less.
so when you first
Very
came
good.
here 30 something years ago,
Mhm.
how familiar were you with the food here? Were you like
Not at all. I
Really?
knew nothing about Portugal except where it was,
Yeah.
geographically speaking.
Mhm.
I'd never stepped foot in it, even though I'd been in Europe 3 times before. But I'd only make as far as Spain, Andalusia. I never made it to Portugal. So
Okay.
it wasn't until 1990 that when I came to play in the orchestra that I actually
What was your
moved in.
impression of the food when you first arrived?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Hearty food and not skimpy on the portions. Although they say that Lisbon skimps more than the rest of the country, and I only found that out when we went on tour. When I asked for like a dose of something, a dose is like a proper serving and not a half dose, and it was enough food for 4 people. So,
Nice.
so I couldn't eat the dish, no matter how hard I tried.
Well, kind
it
of
was
goes
just-
with the hospitality vibe here. You know, it's like when you go visit your grandma, she always wants to make sure you have food. That's what it always feels like here.
Yes.
It's like, here's more for you.
Mhm.
More for you. Yeah, you don't
They
starve.
want you to be at home and
Yeah.
be happy and
Be happy.
enjoy yourself and enjoy the move.
It's
of
what
the-
they talk about mostly. I think the Portuguese, they could be at a meal and talk about what they're going to have tomorrow for the meal.
Right.
So
Making a plan.
exactly, as they're enjoying their food, they're imagining what they're going to eat next.
So he asked about your favorite bacalhau dish.
Bacalhau dish,
What
yes.
is your least favorite Portuguese food, or one that you just don't like at all?
Favas, most likely. I can eat them if I have to.
Like the bean?
The fava beans, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. It's a meat dish with the beans, and I'm just not a fan of those beans because they're pretty hard, chewy. It's
So
not-
full disclosure, the only thing I know about fava beans is
Yeah.
that Hannibal Lecter likes them with a nice Chianti. That's
I knew
all I
that was-
know.
I knew
That's
that was
all I
coming.
know about fava beans. I will
Wow.
try them
Yeah.
though.
I've had very good stews with fava beans in them, but I prefer not just to leave the beans alone. I prefer the other beans, whether
There's a
they're
ton of
white or
beans
brown.
here.
And there's many varieties.
Yeah, it's like a big
Yeah.
bean capital, it
Yeah.
feels like. All right. So I want to talk about the octopus.
Feijoada, octopus.
Sure.
Octopus, I waited 4.5 years to try it because I thought it would be like squid.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of calamari. And I've tried it in Italy, I've tried it in Spain, I've tried it in the States with many different cultures, Greek, Italian, and everyone says, oh, you just haven't had it made right.
Mhm.
Well, I've had it made so many ways that I just know now that I just don't like it. So I was afraid to try octopus, fearing that it would be this similar as cuttlefish. Cuttlefish I do like fried sometimes, and I like it also with the ink. There's a dish with rice and
Which
the
fascinates me. I had no idea that you ate the ink of these.
Yes, it will turn your tongue purple.
Wow.
And you
But does it
need
have
to
a
make sure-
flavor?
I don't know if it changes the flavor that much. I don't remember having ever done a taste test. I've had it with the ink and without. Chocos con tinto. Chocos is the cuttlefish, and I like them both.
Really?
So who finally convinced you to try it?
It wasn't anyone that convinced me. It was hunger.
So you
I'd been
convincer.
I'd been to the beach all day long with a German friend and a Portuguese friend. We were down in the Algarve, and we didn't take anything to eat or drink.
Oh man.
And we arrived at this small restaurant at the end of the day, starving and thirsty. They each had a liter of beer in these huge steins, and I said, I want Pepsi Max, which was sugar free. And I said, I want a liter and a half bottle, but bring me that same glass that they have for their beer. And I drank a bottle and a half before the waiter came back the second time. He thought I watered the plants with it or something. And I said, I want another liter and a half bottle. And he thought I was a little crazy, but he said, I'm sorry, all we have to eat is right now for a snack before you have the meal is octopus salad. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm really hungry. Everybody's going to have that. I don't want to feel left out or say, just bring me some bread and butter. So I'll try the salad. And it was so soft and tender. It was like love at first bite.
Wow.
So I kept kicking myself afterwards. Why didn't I try this sooner?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of my favorite dishes, bacalhau a lagareiro, which is baked in the oven with olive oil and roasted potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's delicious. It's
So
fantastic.
can you describe it to someone that hasn't had it?
To someone who hasn't had octopus, it's not a flavor that I can't compare it to anything. Everybody says, "Oh, it's just like chicken." No, it's not like chicken. It's a little bit tougher, but not tough. It's soft, but it's not mushy. It doesn't sort of squash in your mouth. You have to chew it, but it's not a rubbery chewing thing, which is what I find with calamari. It's rubbery.
Right, it can be.
And cuttlefish the same way. It can, if they do it, cook it too long, too high a heat.
Which I had cuttlefish when we went out to lunch with you and your husband.
Yes.
And tried it for the first time, and it was calamari-like, I thought, but it was good.
It's similar,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried octopus yet, but in my brain, for some reason, I compare it to like gator tail, and it's probably not even close.
No.
But for some reason, I have those two in my head.
I've had gator tail too.
I love gator tail.
And it's nice, but this is not that fatty. It's not going to be that rich. You just have to try it. I mean, my sister-in-law, she says, I can't put a suction cup in my mouth because just...
Right. That's me, the visuals of it.
But there's certain parts of it, if it's sliced differently, some people will take the suction cups off and you just eat the rest of the tentacle. But I love it all. And it can be crunchy if it's like roasted at the tip, and it's just delicious.
And so that's the part you eat is the tentacles, right?
You eat everything. You can eat
everything
but the tooth. And they clean it out and they take the brain out.
Oh, I didn't think about the tooth.
You can eat the actual head of the octopus. It's soft, and it's just skin-like and has a similar texture to the tentacles. It's a little different, but you can eat the whole thing. And the baby ones, sorry to be,
it's all right.
They're better. The smaller, the better, the tastier. So you can eat a whole one, and sometimes I feel awful that I'm eating a baby, but it's delicious.
As you're reaching for the second one.
Yeah. Well, they're not as small as that small, but they're usually hand size.
Really?
And you can find that when they cook it, it shrinks a lot. So you might have a huge octopus that is at arm's length in the tentacles, and then it seems like it's half its size once it's done.
Well, our tutor Lucio, who's teaching us Portuguese, says that we are working our way up from level 1 Portuguese cuisine up to that's maybe a level 3 for us, but we are definitely working toward it. I think you've been very brave, Steve, to try all kinds of things, and I'm sure this is on the radar soon.
Well, being from the Midwest, we don't have that kind of thing, so
right.
Yeah,
you just grow up eating beef and chicken, and that's about it, and pork.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, and not being a seafood guy, like I like lobster, I like shrimp, I like shellfish, octopus, and calamari, and all that was not something that never really struck me. But we'll go to the grocery store and I'll see it in the freezer section or in the fresh fish section. And again, it's the visual thing. I know it's not going to look exactly like that in all the ways you can prepare it, which I think will be helpful for me. Yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a try sometime soon. Today, my big goal is to try a sardine for the first time.
We are going to do that before this is all over. Now, you mentioned pork. Bifanas are everywhere. So can you describe what they are and why they're so ubiquitous?
Bifana, it's a pork cutlet, and it can be heated and it doesn't lose its texture. It stays tender. You'll see them in bars, restaurants where they've just been sitting in there sort of bubbling and boiling since early morning. And we saw it just up above at the festival.
At the market.
They're sitting there.
They seem to be everywhere. So I sort of just think this is like is this like the national sandwich?
It could be sort of like if you go to McDonald's, you can get a McBifana.
You absolutely can.
You've seen it.
I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
They have the two. The beef ones are pregos, which also means nail. So
Right, we saw that, and we were trying to make
it's-
sense of that.
You translate it, it'll say a prego is a nail. That's what you hit with a hammer to put in carpentry. But it's also the word for the beef cutlet that's in the sandwich.
A McNail.
I didn't know there was a beef version of.
Yeah, it's called prego.
Okay.
Prego.
But I mean, we that was the first thing, the first day we arrived here on our first visit ever to Portugal.
Yeah, and
We
the
went-
bifana is not beef;
we-
it's pork. Yeah,
We had a
Bifana.
pork bifana,
Yeah.
and you were like, "This is incredible." I mean, it was.
Yeah,
good.
I was jet lagged. We were tired, but I was hungry, and we went to. There was an Rocio.
Pasta de Figueira.
Oh, it was Figueira, and
yeah.
saw this sandwich. I was like, I'm going to try it, and I inhaled it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So one of our favorite
it's
things.
stewed in its own juice with garlic, and as I said, it's just been cooked for a long time, so it's very tender.
Yeah.
And they usually serve it with mustard on the bun, and that's your bifana.
Yeah,
Yes.
delicious.
I'm learning you can also put hot sauce on it.
Oh yes,
Yes,
you can
do
put
that
hot
the
sauce
other
on anything. People, if you like it, if you like it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So,
best.
what other things would you want to say about traditional Portuguese cuisine? Like any other major things we haven't talked about?
Well, seasonings are basically salt and garlic.
Yeah.
Not so much onion as we use in the States, but it's very rich and depends on where they are bringing their dishes from, because they traveled the world and they brought spices from all over.
Right.
So it's hard to say that there's just one type of Portuguese food, because each region has their own specialty dish as well as pastries and desserts. And
Well, and you've talked about that to us before, where you can get something here, some kind of cuisine, but everybody always say, oh, if you drive an hour outside of the city where it came from, it's much better. Like every region seems to have its thing,
yes,
some kind of food. Yeah.
And residents actually do
Oh,
make the drive to
they
have the
do.
authentic thing.
They
So everyone
do.
believes it's actually better there, which it probably is. But I'm
yes, and since they're such foodies, the Portuguese are, in general, they will go anywhere for the meal. So if it's possible to do it and they have the means to do it, they will go.
What we have not talked about yet is your favorite thing for dessert, the pastel de nata.
well, I feel like pastries and pasta. That's a whole another conversation.
Yeah, the pastel de nata.
Certainly, the pastel
has-
de nata is very
It's traditional.
Yeah,
It's very traditional. It's one of the conventional desserts because they had to figure out what to do with all of these egg yolks when they went through so many eggs using the whites. So the desserts are full of egg yolks, custards, and whatever it is, there's some type of egg involved, usually egg yolk.
And I love it. Like
It's
It's so good.
that flavor is I'm all about
You
it. And
have the famous ones, pastéis de Belém, which that come from the factory, and that's a well guarded recipe.
Yes.
They don't let that out. There's manteigueria that they have it in Lisbon and all different places, and they keep springing up with new restaurants to have them. But it's basically a pastel de nata that comes from a different region or is made in a different way.
so really, so the famous one from Belém is proprietary.
Yes, it's only made there.
I didn't realize that. I thought, well, here I'm being naive about food again, but like I assumed it was one recipe and everybody just did.
No, there's
it's not the way it is.
several. I don't know how many recipes there are, but there's not as many as there are for bacalhau, but there are a lot of different recipes.
Yeah, the one in
Some-
Belém was created by the monks from the monastery,
Yes.
I read. And then when the monastery closed down and the orders were like no longer a thing, they started this shop and sold and only 6 people at a time know the recipe.
Yeah.
I read that today, actually.
Really?
Only
Yes.
6 people. It's like 11 herbs and spices in the States. Only a few people know. It's like their version here.
Yes.
Yeah, only a few people know how to make
Yes.
that thing. Yeah, it's delicious.
So Portuguese pastelerias, which I'm sure I'm saying that wrong,
Pastelerias,
are
yes.
famous, and I feel like the variety of pastries and the flavors of them are just wonderful.
There's hundreds of recipes.
Can you describe what's unique about the Portuguese desserts and pastries and things compared to, say, French or something else?
Well, I would say the content of egg yolk. That's distinguishes the Portuguese desserts more than anywhere else. Other places you can find very rich buttery things, creamy things but here it's the egg yolks that make their desserts.
Well,
egg yolks and sugar.
That is clearly the reason why I'm so in love with them.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for all the hills and steps that I'm having to climb so that I can eat those pastries and be okay.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm going to work it off.
You get to your next destination and you're hungry again because you've burned off all the calories, which is fantastic. So you can eat all day here.
Yes, it's very easy.
So easy.
So we mentioned sardines a minute ago. June is very important for sardines. Can you explain that?
The sardines they use a lot in the festivals of Saint Anthony, the feast of Saint Anthony. Dia de Santo Antonio, which is the 13th of June, and the 12th, no one sleeps that night till the next day because it's always a holiday in Lisbon. In Porto, it's São João, a different saint, but there's so many saints. It's a 95% Catholic country, and so every day there's another saint or two or three, depending on what day of the month it is. And they just decided June, it's summer time, it's a nice time to have a party, and so they just go all out for the month of June.
And why are the sardines? I mean, everyone has told us for months, don't have a sardine until June. This is when they're right. Like, why?
The size. They can only fish at a certain time, and so it's restricted fishing when it's not thousands of fish in the sea for the sardines.
So it's seasonal.
It's seasonal, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
we've heard June, July, and August are like the months to eat sardines.
Sure.
So, okay.
So we're going to try a sardine here in a bit, but is there anything else about Portuguese food, drink, desserts, any of that stuff that you think is noteworthy that you want to mention?
Well, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I think coffee is very important because their espresso is different, and when people get used to the Portuguese coffee, they go somewhere else, they're not happy. So they can go to Starbucks, they can go to Spain, they can go to Italy, and it's not the same. So I don't know if it's the coffee bean or the way that it's roasted or processed, but it seems to be very special because the Portuguese are not happy when they're out of the country, when they're looking for coffee.
Well, like you said, with the pastries on every corner, everybody has a coffie with their pastry. No matter the time.
You start the day with your bica, right? Which is your little tiny espresso. They're really strong, aren't they?
They are.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, because if you can get all of your coffee that you need in that one little cup, it's got to be back in a wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, I like them, but I still like my larger Americano. But a little on-the-go thing isn't bad. I can do those
and
too.
wine here is wonderful. I guess we should mention port wine, of course.
Port wine, Madeira wine, just the Muscatel grape. I mean, there's so many varieties of grapes and wines. They're just famous for it.
Well,
and
you introduced us to green wine.
Green wine, yes. Green wine is not basically a ripe wine. It's not one that's matured as long. It can be red, it can be white, and it can be rosé, but it's a younger wine. It's not been sitting in for
not as much alcohol, correct?
Not as much alcohol. It hasn't
we were told to have that for lunch. First time I had it, we were out for lunch. We were like, oh, you can have some green wine. It doesn't have the same effect, right?
Well, it depends on how much you drink of
it. True.
I like it, and so I can usually go through a bottle or two. So.
And then there's an effect.
That is the trick. It's like me with my whiskey drinks.
Yeah, okay. Know when to say when.
Didn't mean to put that on tape. All right, well, thank you for being such a wealth of knowledge about all of this and sharing it, and we look forward to having plenty of meals where you guide us through our next step in trying things. We appreciate it. I mean, you did have that cuttlefish that day we went out, so
I did, yeah. So that
and you liked it. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like craving it, but it wasn't bad. Yeah. I enjoyed it, and I ate the whole thing. So.
And I had the pork strips, which is called
lagartos.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm all about that.
Yeah, those were good too.
I mean, I can eat that all day.
If you find one that's called plumas, it's even better.
Really?
Plumas. That's the best one.
Take a note. Yeah. All right.
All right. We'll look for that.
It's sort of light like birds' feathers. That's what it's named after, like plumes.
Oh, wow.
Feather plume.
Okay.
So plumas.
Well, Joe, you're really interesting,
Oh.
and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
You're very welcome.
We are so happy you're one of our new friends here in Lisbon.
Yeah, we
Very
have
nice
a lot to
have you as
learn.
a friend too. Yeah. Oh, it takes a while. I've been here for a long time and I still don't know it all.
You're way ahead of us, so we appreciate the guidance.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to your first octopus experience. It's coming.
It's coming. I'm anticipating it. I'm not looking forward to it.
You're not looking for it? Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
At least I'll be able to say I can do it. But
I hope I can be there because I want to see
probably
your
will
face.
be.
I want to see your face.
Actually, you're probably going to have to hold her hand through that.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll probably make that happen. We'll plan that.
Yeah.
We will plan that dinner. Seriously, that's probably the
Yeah.
way it's going to have to happen.
Absolutely.
Find the video where Steve tries his first grilled Portuguese sardine on the Besta and Steve YouTube channel. Will he like it? Will he eat it? Find out on YouTube.